I started using Windows long before I ever thought about operating systems as something you could choose. Like most people, my first real experience with a computer came through Windows. From school computer labs to my first personal laptop, everything ran on Windows. Over the years, I used many versions, from the early ones that felt clunky and slow to the more polished ones that promised to be the final version of Windows. When Windows 11 arrived, it was marketed as the modern, sleek, and intelligent operating system designed for the future. At first, I believed that too. The interface looked clean, the animations were smooth, and it felt like Microsoft was trying to modernize everything. But over Chimi, something started to change. What began as small annoyances slowly turned into bigger frustrations. And by 2026, I finally reached a point where I made a decision I never thought I would make. I left Windows 11 completely and switched to Linux. At the beginning, Windows 11 actually felt exciting. The centered taskbar looked fresh, the rounded corners gave the system a modern feel, and the overall design seemed more consistent than previous versions of Windows. Microsoft talked a lot about productivity, AI integration, and cloud connectivity. For the first few weeks, everything seemed fine. I was using the same apps I always used, my games worked, and my workflow didn't change much. But the longer I used it, the more I started noticing little things that didn't sit right with me. One of the first things that bothered me was the growing number of things happening in the background without my control. Windows had always been known for automatic updates, but in Windows 11 it felt even more aggressive. Sometimes I would sit down to work, only to realize the system had decided it was the perfect time to install updates. Other times the computer would restart overnight without asking, interrupting things I had left running. At first, I tried to ignore it, but eventually it became part of a larger pattern. It felt like the operating system was making decisions for me rather than working for me. Another thing that slowly started to frustrate me was how much Windows was pushing services and features I never asked for. The system kept encouraging me to sign into a Microsoft account, use cloud storage, enable syncing across devices, and adopt various integrated tools. While some of these features were useful for certain users, I didn't like how difficult it was becoming to keep the system simple and local. The more updates arrived, the more the system seemed to revolve around services rather than the computer itself. Then there was the issue of performance. Windows 11 looked beautiful, but sometimes it didn't feel efficient. Over time, I noticed that my computer, which had perfectly capable hardware, was using more memory and more background processes than before. Even when I wasn't doing anything heavy, the system seemed busy doing something. Task Manager would show dozens of processes running, many of which I didn't fully understand. It started to feel like I was sharing my computer with the operating system instead of fully owning it. The hardware requirements were another turning point for me. When Windows 11 first launched, Microsoft introduced stricter requirements like TPM and specific CPU generations. Many perfectly working computers were suddenly considered unsupported. At first, I didn't think much about it because my machine met the requirements. But the more I thought about it, the more it bothered me. It meant millions of devices were being pushed toward obsolescence, even though they were still perfectly capable machines. That idea stayed in the back of my mind. Privacy was another issue that gradually became impossible to ignore. Modern operating systems collect data to improve services, and that's something most people understand. But the amount of telemetry and tracking in Windows felt excessive. Even after disabling various options in the settings, it was never entirely clear how much information was still being sent. The system often felt like it was designed around data collection and analytics rather than just being a tool for the user. Then there were the ads. This was one of the moments where I really started questioning the direction Windows was heading. I began seeing suggestions, promotions, and recommendations inside parts of the operating system where I never expected them. The Start menu would suggest apps. The Settings app would recommend services. Notifications would sometimes highlight Microsoft products or features. Individually, these things might not seem like a big deal, but together they created the feeling that the operating system was trying to sell me things inside my own computer. Around this time, I also started noticing the growing fragmentation within Windows itself. Some parts of the system had the modern Windows 11 design, while other parts still looked like they came from Windows 7 or even earlier. Opening certain settings would lead to the new interface, but other options would redirect to old control panels. It felt like the operating system was carrying decades of history inside it, and not all of it had been updated. At first, I didn't immediately jump to Linux. Like many people, I had always thought of Linux as something for developers, programmers, or tech enthusiasts. My impression was that it required complicated commands, constant troubleshooting, and deep technical knowledge. I assumed it would break my workflow and make everyday tasks more difficult. But as my frustration with Windows grew, curiosity slowly started to take over. One evening, I decided to try Linux for the first time in years. Instead of replacing Windows immediately, I installed it on a spare drive just to see what it was like. I expected confusion and complexity, but what I found was surprisingly different from the Linux I remembered. The installation process was straightforward. Within minutes, I had a fully working desktop environment that felt fast and responsive. The first thing that shocked me was how lightweight everything felt. The system booted faster, applications opened almost instantly, and the desktop environment felt incredibly smooth even on hardware that Windows struggled with. It didn't feel like the operating system was constantly doing things behind the scenes. Instead, it felt calm and efficient. Another thing that impressed me was the level of control Linux offered. Instead of hiding advanced options or forcing certain defaults, Linux distributions seemed to embrace the idea that users should be able to customize their systems however they wanted. From the desktop environment to the system behavior, almost everything could be adjusted. The package management system was another major difference. Instead of searching the internet for installers, downloading and manually updating software, Linux offered centralized repositories where applications could be installed and updated through a single system. It felt cleaner and more organized. As I continued experimenting with Linux, I started realizing that many of the things I once believed about it were outdated. Modern Linux distributions had user-friendly interfaces, graphical app stores, automatic hardware detection, and strong community support. It wasn't just a developer's operating system anymore. It had become a viable alternative for everyday users. Of course, the transition wasn't perfect. There were moments where I had to learn new workflows or find alternatives for certain software. Some applications I used on Windows didn't have native Linux versions, but surprisingly, many tools I've relied on either had Linux equivalents or worked through compatibility layers. Gaming was another area where Linux had improved dramatically. For years, Windows dominated PC gaming, and that was one of the biggest reasons I stayed with it. But by 2026, the landscape had changed. Compatibility tools and platform support had evolved to the point where many popular games worked smoothly on Linux. What really convinced me, however, wasn't just performance or compatibility. It was the philosophy behind Linux. Unlike proprietary systems, Linux is built around open source principles. The code is transparent, communities contribute to development, and users have the freedom to modify or distribute the software. That philosophy created a very different relationship between the user and the operating system. On Windows, I often felt like a customer inside someone else's ecosystem. On Linux, I felt like the system actually belonged to me. There were no forced accounts, no ads in the interface, and no mystery background services sending data somewhere. The system did exactly what I asked it to do. Over several months, I gradually used Linux more and more while using Windows less and less. Eventually, I reached a point where I realized I hadn't booted into Windows for weeks. At that moment, the decision became obvious. I backed up my files, removed the Windows partition, and fully committed to Linux. Making that switch in 2026 felt surprisingly natural. The ecosystem around Linux had matured enough that it could handle most everyday tasks without major compromises. Web browsers, productivity tools, creative applications, development environments, and even gaming were all available in some form. Another unexpected benefit was stability. Linux systems tend to run for long periods without needing updates rarely interrupt work, and the system generally behaves in a predictable way. That reliability made a huge difference in my daily workflow. Security was another advantage because Linux permissions and user roles are designed differently. Many types of malware that affect Windows simply don't work the same way on Linux. Combined with open source transparency, it created a sense of confidence in the system. Over time, I also began to appreciate the community behind Linux. Instead of relying on a single corporation, the ecosystem is supported by developers, volunteers, and organizations around the world. Forums, documentation, and tutorials make it easier to solve problems and learn new things. Looking back, leaving Windows wasn't a sudden decision. It was the result of years of gradual frustration combined with the steady improvement of Linux. If Linux had been in its current state 10 years ago, I probably would have switched much earlier. Today, my computer feels different. It feels faster, quieter in a software sense, and more under my control. There are no unexpected pop-ups suggesting services, no forced ecosystem integrations, and no feeling that the system is trying to steer me toward something. That doesn't mean Windows is a bad operating system for everyone. For many people, it still works perfectly well, especially for certain professional software or specific work. But for me, by 2026, the balance had shifted. The convenience that once kept me on Windows was no longer enough to outweigh the downsides. Switching to Linux reminded me that computers are tools, and tools should serve the user rather than the other way around. The operating system should stay out of the way and let people focus on what they actually want to do. In the end, leaving Windows 11 wasn't about rejecting Microsoft or following a trend. It was about finding an environment that respected my preferences, my hardware, and my control over my own machine. Linux offered that in a way that Windows no longer did. And that's why, after years of using Windows, I finally made the switch in 2026 and never looked back.